temple is a very specific technique. A temple is meant for those who cannot do without images. And that means pretty much everyone. One may keep saying that I do not require images or I do not deal in images, but the fact is, even if we say that God is shapeless and colorless and formless, still even formlessness comes to us as a particular form. Mind cannot talk of anything except in its own ways, and the ways of the mind are space, time, form, shape, color, properties, limits. These are the ways of the minds. So there have been people who have kept on talking of God as the unthinkable one, as the uncreated one, as the unborn one. But even when you say all these things, even when you say that you cannot think about God, aren't you already thinking about God? So it becomes hypocritical. Temple is a technique to do away with this hypocrisy. The temple carrying the idol acknowledges the fact of the mind. And what is the fact of the mind? That whatever you may claim, the fact is that you are always dealing in images. So if you are always dealing in images, let me give you an image that will remind you of the one beyond images.
Through the images.
Because anyway you are dealing in images. You are anyway dealing in images, so let me have an image of a kind that will remind you of that which is beyond images. But that can happen only if, firstly, the devotee does not get affixated to the image, because the image is just a method. The image is like a door. The image must introduce you to the formless. But if you become attached to the image, the form, then the formless will keep eluding you. Are you getting it? So idol worship or image worship is a very specific technique, just a method.
Just a convenience, not a necessity.
Not a necessity, not at all, not at all.
So now, there is a personal question, because when I think about going to temples, I think of those temples nearby my home, and those are like thousands of people go to those temples. So when I go to them, somebody is nudging me from here, somebody is nudging me from here. I can't stand there for a while and just think about God or even see the image. So then I think that the God is left temple. That image has come to my mind. So I will stop going to temples. Now another problem that is emerging from that is, because I don't go to temples, I don't take my kids to temple. Now another thing is, because I am not taking my kids to temple, somehow I feel, and somehow the society believes, society make me feel that, this is not how we develop the culture, this is not how we develop the sacredness in them. This is, so I'm confused.
You see, if you are really intending to use the temple in the way it is intended to be used, then do not go to crowded temples. There are enough temples by the wayside, in the villages, even in the fields, in old forts, that nobody visits. Why not go there? Why not go there?
So we do that because there is a small temple. When we go to a garden, a very small one, nobody goes there. We go stand there sometime. But then there are these famous ones which everybody goes to.
Famous in the minds of
the people.
So who is the real God? Do you see? You want to visit a famous temple. Now, is the temple famous in the mind of God? Or is the temple famous in the mind of society? Then who is your real God?
Society.
You go to God depending on which temple of God is favored by the society. Who is the real God?
Society.
What is the need? What is the need? Do you go to a famous woman every evening? Do you?
There is no access.
There's no access.
It's very sad.
You don't have such kind of money also.
No, we can have that deliberation a little later. We have one particular Babaji who is woken up only by these kinds of gods.
Certainly the fountain of wisdom.
Temples are beautiful places. Really beautiful. Provided you do not make them places of social gatherings. The way a Shivalinga is designed, conceptualized, the way a Devi idol is erected, there is a lot of deep thought, meditativeness in it. It's worth an occasional visit. But don't let it become a thing of popular fashion. Go to a temple when nobody else comes to the temple, which means you must totally avoid the festivals. Go to the temple at a time when you are likely to find it empty, which means you have to avoid the mornings and the evenings.
Those Wednesdays.
Right? And when you visit a temple, remember that the pratima or the ling are just pointers. Do not get besotted with the stone. Yes, the stone means nothing. The stone is just stone. But the stone is a great indicator. Yes?
Is this puja and worship relinquishing the ego somewhat? Like when you do puja?
Yes, of course. You see, at least you are worshipping something, somebody outside of yourself. Otherwise, when do you really worship somebody outside of yourself? You're looking at a Krishna statue and you're saying, you are the highest one. You are the purest one. At least for a while. You are not claiming that I am the highest one. Therein lies the significance. You are the highest one, not me. There is an old fort in Gwalior. Visited that around 4-5 years back. And it contains many Shiva temples, all small ones. It is said that the king had many queens and he had one temple for each queen. They used to quarrel with each other. So he made them separate temples. You visit this one, you visit that one. And no one comes to those temples. They don't even have a priest. And it was fabulous being there. They are very small temples. It was fabulous being there.
Sir, even we go to the temples, what to do there?
Not to do there.
Yes, what not to do there? In the most of the day,
Just not to do there. Not to do there. You go to a temple, not to do there. Don't do it in the temple.
What not to do and what
A temple is particularly the place where you
not to do.
don't do it.
Nothing.
Don't do it. That place is the temple. Wherever your daily activities come to a standstill, that place is a temple. Wherever the mind comes to a relaxed halt, that place is a temple.